I guess a really strong week from you and the players. How's it been in the camp?
Yeah, all good. Feeling's good. Good to recover from the games, the tight schedule that we had last week. And yeah, been positive training.
And obviously that win on Saturday was a proper statement win, another win on the bounce. How much has that lifted the players' confidence? Not that it needed lifting anyways, but how has it been for them and then you guys?
Yeah, no, it does. We all need lifts in confidence. I think the performance was one of our best performances in terms of our in possession plays, particularly in the first half. The stuff that we talked about and worked on a bit came to fruition on the ball, which is great. But obviously, this is every game's a different challenge, and the one in front of us with Bristol City and away from home is completely different. But good confidence from the team. It's 4 wins, which is has been good, but also others are winning around us. So we need to keep going.
Absolutely, lots of positives to take. Just a couple of questions on that game. Obviously, Fran Villiefa looked like he came off. Is he been up training this week, or has it been?
Yeah, he hasn't trained much, but he's due to train today, so we'll see how he is for tomorrow.
Is he going to be in contention?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see today how he is out there.
Yeah, because again, he's had a real, and the Sky Blue Army have taken to him. He's got enough little child as well, taken to him a lot, which is really nice to see for a player that's obviously got that pedigree from Brentford. Have you been pleased with how well the Sky Blue Army have taken to him?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great to see the link between fans. They respect a good player who gives everything for the team and helps to improve us. I think when we recruited him, there was the playing profile of him is different to what we got already, but also we're quite light on Premier League experience. Not many of our players have been exposed to the Premier League. Some other teams in the Champ have lots of exposure to Premier League, so there's an experience about it. There's a know-how in his game. But he's been a big impact on and off the pitch for us. His professionalism is really good. So it's a positive player to bring in. Clearly, he's come in and helped our upturn in recent weeks.
Obviously, Saturday, Bristol City was all in contention. Obviously, Tuesday night. Did you keep an eye on watch the game?
Yeah. I didn't watch all of the game at the time, but I've watched it back since. But we had to have two different ideas and 2 different plans for how the week might pan out.
I was going to say preparation for that must have been quite tricky because you wouldn't have known until 9:30, quarter to 10. How does that change the week? I know you mightn't have a game.
Yeah, it was only tricky for us staff, not the players. We had 2 ideas in our head. They just do what we tell them to do, and we make sure it doesn't affect us negatively in terms of our prep for the week. So we trained well, and we just adapted around that on Tuesday night.
And obviously, it was quite a shock in the FA Cup, Port Vale bottom of League Delta. So for them to lose, obviously they made a number of changes, but they're going into it with a poor result on Tuesday. But I guess you can take both sides of the story that they want to turn it around on Saturday. But obviously, the league, they're in 10th. They've had a good season so far. So what have you made of it?
Yeah, I think a surprising result on Tuesday on paper, but in reality, we know the FA Cup, we know going away on a Tuesday night to Port Vale is not an easy game. I understand us managers get critiqued for changing your squad too much or too little, but when you've got a squad of 20, you have to give players opportunities in cup competitions. They're still in contention for playoffs, etc. So I don't read too much into that detail. They will want to respond to it, so we have to be aware of that. And they're a good team. We felt that at the CBS. They've got good results this season against different teams. Sometimes when they don't have so much possession, they get results because they've got good in transition. Back threes are difficult to play against when they move the ball well because they give you different problems, and they're difficult to break down when they defend well because they have lots of men compact behind the ball, back 5, etc. So there's loads of parts of this game that make it a difficult challenge for us.
And obviously, with the added challenge that is 3 games in 7 days, you mentioned about your squad depth, though, but how are you preparing for that, knowing you've got Wednesday night and Saturday 2 games?
Well, I have a little bit of a view about the future games, but my main focus is on this, to pick the best players for this game, freshest, best balance to the team, considering a little bit the opposition, and we'll do that, and then we'll recover. And yes, we do have a better squad now from what we had in the first half of the season for the ifs and the buts and what may happen with players of injuries and fatigue. But yeah, all focus on this game.
Just want to ask on a separate point, obviously the EFL announced the championship changes with the playoffs. Can I just get your thoughts on that and how you feel about it?
I don't mind it. I'm not swung either way too much, really.
Do you have a say in it, or?
We were asked opinions at one point. I can't remember exactly from who. I'm okay with it.
Did you push towards it? Were you in favour of it or against it?
Sat in the middle. I knew I wouldn't make the decision. So it's one just to wait and see. I think for competition in the league, maybe it's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? To give more teams the opportunity to maybe get to the Premier League, which, you know, we know the discrepancy between the money in the Premier League, the parachute teams, and how much strength they have when they come down to the Championship. So maybe to be able to give some other teams who maybe don't have the financial backing that others do, the opportunity to get there. I think if I was probably going to swing one way, it would be more that this is good because it will give some opportunity to others.
Yeah, and then finally from me, obviously another sold out away end tomorrow. It's the really business end of the season now. A lot of fans keep an eye on what's going on with games in hand with other teams, etc. What's your message to them tomorrow?
Well, thanks as always for coming down. They support us everywhere, all over the country. Incredible support the last couple of away games, West Brom and Sheffield United. I thought they were fantastic, as they have been, and we're very focused. So we'll be trying to do our job.
Ephron, nice to see you. Pleasing week for you and the players. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been a good week. I haven't really got carried away with everything. We've stayed to the same values that we've had throughout the season. So it's been a good week of training and preparing for the next game.
Obviously, this turning form in terms of results, few wins on the bounce. What do you think has changed over the past couple of months? Obviously, you had that blip in Christmas, but recently things have gone well. Is anything? What do you think is to be the difference?
Honestly, I don't think anything's changed. I think the same, what's the words? The same output in trainings stayed the same throughout our good patches and that bad patch we had. Yeah, training's always been competitive, and I think that just goes to show how tough this league can be. That you sometimes might have a dip, but the fact that we've bounced back and maintained a good bit of form is a positive that I think all the players and the staff can take throughout the season.
So shows there's a lot of resilience in the squad then, obviously turning that form around, and yourself as well, contributing in the last few games with a few assists. How are you pleased with your personal?
Yeah, I'm pleased, but at the end of the day, it's just about getting the 3 points and playing well as a team. So I'm happy to contribute, regardless how well or how bad, like not bad, but how well I'm playing. So yeah, it's a positive regardless for me.
Have you got targets? Obviously, goals and assists. You've got a fair few of them this season. Have you got targets? Did you set yourself targets at the start of the year?
Yeah, I did. To be fair, the start of last season, I set them. I kept them between me and my mum. So
Okay.
yeah.
Are you doing well? Like, are you on track?
Yeah, I'm on track. Just need to get to the back post a bit more, but I'm on track.
Yeah,
So,
you picked up a couple of goals, like you said, and a few assists as well, working quite nicely with Jada Silva down that left-hand side. You two have got a great connection. What's it like working like with him on down that left-hand flank?
Yeah, I think it's really good. He's a top player. A lot of players know who he is. So yeah, being able to work with him every day is helped my game, and I hope that I've helped his. So yeah, we just try to complement each other on the pitch, and I feel that we have a really good relationship off the pitch as well. That also helps building a bond on the pitch.
Exactly that, and you mentioned about that relationship. Obviously, sometimes when teams double up down that flank, you've kind of plays as a fullback yourself and support Jay, and maybe he goes forward and you go back, and working together, playing 30-odd games already this season. Have you worked and learned that with each other, that when one goes wasn't the same?
Yeah, definitely. I think working with him is a positive in my game, both offensively and defensively. Having that voice, he's the one that kind of speaks to me the most on the pitch, always helps with my position, and I think it's gotten better as the season's gone on. So I have to pay a lot of tribute to him. Yeah.
And there's lots of competition on the flanks now. Obviously, BTA coming back for his injury and suspension recently as well. Obviously, Remain SA and Yonik both signed in January, both wingers. So what's that meant for you playing? Have you had to up your game training and on the pitch, or is it just been added competition?
Yeah, like it just at the end, for me, it's just added competition. When they've come in, it's kind of shown the league how important squad depth is. And having, like you said, top players in each position has helped me personally, and I think it's helped others in the team as well to know that you just give 100% whilst you're on the pitch, knowing that the next person that comes on, or vice versa, will kind of take that baton and carry on the same way that you left the pitch.
Bristol City on Saturday then. Obviously, I just asked Frank about he wasn't going to go ahead potentially on that Tuesday night game. So preparation hasn't changed much for you players. But what are you expecting on Saturday?
Yeah, Bristol are a good team, but you know, we've had a longer week to prepare and look at our opponent. So, you know, we go into every game confident. But yeah, it's just implementing what's been shown to us and coached to us out there this week, and you know, trying to be our best out there.
Obviously, they got a shock result defeat on Tuesday. How are you feeling about that? Do you take any notice of how they got on in that game, or?
Me personally, not too much. You know, cup games are completely different to how the league game kind of feels. Yeah, we didn't really focus too much on it. As soon as like we heard about the result, it was just we had that same focus whether or not the game was going to go ahead on the weekend.
And 3 games in 7 days now, a lot of opportunity for lots of games, but also is going to be tough on the body. How are you preparing for?
Yeah, so like you say, loads of games coming up, and I think that just shows how tough this league can be. Each game is, you know, gonna be tough. Me personally, it's just getting a lot of rest, and the staff here are amazing at helping all the players make sure that they're like at 100 when it comes to match day. So I think everybody's gonna be doing the same thing and taking care of us throughout each game that comes.
And finally, for me, we always talk about it, but the Scotland Army, how important can they play with Park tomorrow? Another sold out away, and every week it's sold out. What can the Park can they play?
Yeah, it's amazing support. You know, all the players feel it, the staff as well feel it. And I feel when, you know, like you said, they sold out, it just gives us extra motivation to go that extra yard for not just our teammates, but the fans that travel across the country to support us. So yeah, it's a blessing to be able to be a part of a team that has such an amazing fan base.